This is Experimental Snapshot 3, and this is Experimental Snapshot 4. Well, Experimental Snapshot 5 is out, and we're going to be taking a look at what it looks like right now. And you notice there's an ocean monument right behind me. So they said that they've kind of fixed things. Well, let's take a look. Oh, there's the mountain. It's looking pretty tall, but well, a lot has changed. As you can see, there is no more stony peaks. It's all snow-capped peaks, which is interesting. If we go up here, we of course can see that this has become very, very jagged. And in fact, that is one of the things that has changed. The mountains have become more jagged. But how tall is this mountain? I've determined that the peak is right here. Before we had a 256 block tall mountain. It was 240 in the snapshot number 4. This is snapshot number 5, and we are at, if I can not slide over, we're at 240. It's not taller again, but it does look a lot more jagged, that's for sure. I mean, let's look. What is this? It looks like we have a new cave entrance. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. We still have this crater appearance. I guess I'm fine with this. It does look a lot more jagged, more mountainy, you know? But it's still shorter than it was in Experimental Snapshot 3. And a few other changes I've noticed around here is the savanna has shrunk a lot. We've got meadow over here once again. And it looks like the plains has increased in size. So you can see that is meadows. Just look at the color of the grass. It has shrunk. And that is plains. And we still do have that snow there. So not a huge amount has changed, but it is interesting to see how the changes are coming about. But I want to see if I can find some other changes around this world. Now I'm back over by spawn. Now in Experimental Snapshot 3, I spawned in a swamp, and this was a fairly flat area. Now we've got mountains, and we've got some fairly sharp cliffs, which is interesting. But swamps are a thing that have been tweaked a bit. So swamps are less coastal, although we've got it right here. It's along the coast, but it's not supposed to go right out into the ocean any longer. And this swamp is actually a pretty good size. Pretty nice. But yeah, it is somewhat coastal, it looks like. Also, we used to have some shattered terrain right here. It's been brought down. It's no longer shattered. It looks more like it's extreme hills. But yeah, no more shattered there, but we got shattered terrain over there. One thing that they mentioned is a lot of the shattered terrain is being toned down, especially along the coast, where it'll be replaced by some beach areas. Another thing they've done is made swamps a little bit deeper, as you can see right here. And the trees can also grow in deeper water. Now look at this one right here. You can see this one's in 2 block deep water, so it is growing at a deeper depth. And that kind of reminds me of mangroves, really. I think that is looking pretty good because you got the deeper depth, and also the integration with rivers is improved. If I can find a river, that would be great. I don't believe this is a river. I think this is an aquifer or some kind of, I don't know, could be a ravine. But we got floating blocks of gravel. I don't think this is supposed to be intended. But yeah, this looks like a ravine in the swamp, and it is definitely flooded, which is good. I like that. But one thing with the floating blocks, there was an issue in snapshot number, I believe it was number 4, with the floating red sand in Badlands. Well, that's apparently been fixed now, as has floating calcite. Speaking of shattered terrain, this certainly does not look like a beach. This looks very shattered and very, very irregular looking. Now, lakes have been reduced, so we should not see them in hot, dry biomes like savanna, badlands, and desert. Now, this is a river, actually. This is not a lake. And the badlands are supposed to be a little bit smaller on average, but they say not to worry. There's still huge badlands. This is an interesting village here. It's kind of got a mix of red sand and regular sand. But yeah, it's a desert village, all right. But I saw something over here that it looks really interesting. We got some fairly big Badlands mountains areas. Looks like a big valley here. And I'm always interested in seeing these valleys. I'm wondering if this is a river, because if it is... Oh, we got huge caves in here too. If this is a river, that's a very strange looking river, right? Let's see what we've got here. It is a river. It doesn't look like a river to me. It looks like a lake. Because there's no river shape here, is there? Huh. And anyways, let's take a look in here, because this is looking a little interesting. They have added springs. So you can see, well, added more springs. So you can have a lot more water coming out of various blocks. And it will look very interesting in mountains, because you'll have streams. Now, this is an incredible cave. Oh, I love this. We got this local water level here, and then waterfalls that go even deeper down. That is amazing. Oh, this is a massive cave system. Ah, hello. Creeper kind of stuck there. But this is odd. This is a huge, just huge lava lake with lava falls coming down here. Wonder if this was ever intended to generate like this. Minecraft devs, Henrik, this is normal. This is crazy. This is amazing. But this whole cave system is massive, and we've got more hanging. Oh god, we got this again. We got so many freaking chains through here. Let's just quickly look at it in with night vision, because this is massive, humongous. And this is a big dripstone cave. It keeps on going. It goes on in that direction for quite a long distance. So yeah, this is the big lake down there. We entered somewhere up there. But if we go this way, I just want to take a look here. It's great to find things like this, and I think it does help a lot of the devs with the generation. But it'd be nice to find lush caves, because there, lush caves have, they now have springs. So that is nice. So water springs, of course. But yeah, this cave system just keeps going and going. Wow. But most of the stuff that we want to see is above ground, not underground. Speaking of dripstone caves, the cave entrances will now be less grassy and more stony. Although this is a terrible example here because, well, this isn't a grassy biome. And the jungle edge biome is back for now. Isn't that beautiful? I love this grass color. Getting back to the rivers, the depth and the banks have been tweaked a bit, so it's not as deep and it's not as steep, but it'll be a lot more natural. So you can see here, this is a fairly decent looking river. Gets a little narrow here, and then comes and, wow, becomes quite large. Are there other rivers coming through here? Just wondering if this is a lake or is it just a big, you know, they always call them rivers, but this is actually an entrance to a cave. What is this? This is a river. Okay. I guess they just call it rivers, but it looks more like a lake, doesn't it? Back to our original mountain, I just want to look at the springs aspect. So these water springs, they just come right out of the mountain here. And this one seems to just stop right there. Yeah, it does stop, but that's a limitation with the water physics in the game. We've got another one here. This one seems to come out, comes out of one spot, right in there. And sorry, we've got a bit of lag here because, you know, it does lag quite a bit. And it comes down, splits, and then it stops right there. That, again, looks kind of weird. Oh, but that's neat. That's neat. It goes through there and out here. I guess one thing that you can do is fix this up and make it look like it's going all the way down to the water down here. I guess that's something that you can do. But yeah, it would be nice if they could actually go all the way. But I'm not sure if that would even be possible in the code of Minecraft. Oh, and floaty snow. We don't just have floaty gravel. We got floaty snow here. I'm really loving the work that the developers are doing to make this even better. I love that we've got these jagged mountains now. It's so much more difficult to climb. And it's a lot more realistic. And we don't have these plateaus that are cut off at 260, at least here. But I think I would prefer these mountains to be up to 260, wouldn't you? I'm kind of missing Snapshot 3 in that case. Oh, and yeah, this one doesn't have any calcite over there anymore. Oh, I guess we'll have to find some other place to find some stony peaks. But I'd like you to let me know in the comment section below what you think of this snapshot. Do you think it's looking better? Just let me know. I'll also be leaving a link in the description box about this snapshot so you can read all about it. I'd like to give a big thanks to my patrons for their support. If you become a patron, you can get access to world downloads, special Discord ranks, and access to my Java supporter server. While you're at it, check out the recommended video at the top and the 1.18 snapshot playlist at the bottom. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.